Well, hello, you wonderful humans. I hope you're all doing well. I don't know if the cat... cat! Trash cat, come here. She wants attention for some reason right now. So she's just been at my feet, a little trash baby. Like, wanting to climb up my legs, but then getting there and then not, and then scratching the bejesus out of me instead. So this is Freya, the trash cat, who sleeps at my feet during every live stream. Epic late stream, it's almost 2 p.m. I figured we'd do some astro tonight. We haven't done it in a while, and you'll see why, because it's still daylight at one of the telescopes that we'll be using tonight. But one of our other telescopes is already imaging. So we'll hop on that in a moment. You got some storm sirens? Oh no, Rome. Sweet baby Jesus. Trash baby is so big. Yeah, she's big. She wants to go back to her little hidey hole under the desk. Yeah, I hope you all are doing well. Let me see if I can get the autofocus on this camera to work again. There we go. Anyways, yeah, it's a late night. We haven't done astro in the hottest of minutes. And I really wanted to... So all night I was trying to record a video on the new James Webb images. And I really wanted to do that, and I just kind of ran out of time, and I was like, you know what, it's late already, we might as well check out the James Webb Space Telescope images, compare them to the Hubble telescope images, because it's really crazy to see the technology difference there, and like why the James Webb is worth 30 years of work, and $10 billion, and it's going to completely change how we see the universe and study it and our understanding our place in the universe. And it's actually a really cool time in human history right now that we're in. So Rihanna, give cat love and snacks. Oh, I will indeed. But we're living in a really amazing time. I don't think a lot of people really understand like the significance of what the James Webb is going to be able to do. So I figured we'd do a little bit of a stream. We'll do some imaging, and yeah, we'll just hang out and talk and do stuff. I don't know, for a little bit, at least until I want to pass out and die or something. It's kind of late already. It's going on midnight already, which is fine. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and go over. This is the image that came from the James Webb Space Telescope today. At first glance, it might not seem amazing, but let me show you what our previous best image is of this stuff, because it's astounding the difference. So this is actually the same image that Hubble telescope, super secret nerd stream. What's going on, Urbo Turbo Burbo? How are you doing tonight, you wonderful bean? Let me pull this up. So this is actually what is called, it's called SMACS 0732, I think, or something like that. SMACS something. I just always call it SMACS. Also known as the Hubble Deep Field Survey. This was what Hubble was able to image. So this was previously our best look into the cosmos. Yeah, we've been able to look deeper before, but never at really high fidelity. Like, this is still amazing. When we imaged this from the Hubble Space Telescope, was truly just astonishing, because every single point of light, except for the ones with the diffraction spikes in this image, is another galaxy. But not only that, you can see these little strands here, right? This is actually gravitational lensing. We're able to see galaxies going all the way back to a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. And these are galaxies that are actually really far behind this object back here. And due to the immense gravity, we're actually able to not only see it, but magnify it. So we're able to see things that we traditionally wouldn't be able to do. But with Hubble, we were only really able to see things that were really, really bright. Like we could look basically within a few 100 million years of the Big Bang. But we were only able to look at the really, really bright things. And that is where James Webb comes in. So you can see just the massive difference. Like, look at this. It's insane. Let me get the same magnification. Should be like right about here. Yeah. just just in this alone, this is a test image too. Like, this is a test of the James Webb. This isn't like dedicating a lot of time to understanding a certain patch of space. This is literally a test image just to compare what minimal effort could achieve with the James Webb Space Telescope. Like, it's kind of like absolutely ridiculous. Let's we'll dig into it in a second. But anyways, Louisa, so beautiful. Happy to catch a late night stream. Also, I'm rewatching the charity event of Fall Guys by YouTube Gaming. Ah, the good old days. Jesus, and I thought the James Webb photo wasn't that great. Yeah, at first glance, this doesn't look amazing. This was a test shot. So to put it into perspective, this image right here took the Hubble Space Telescope 10 days to capture. This was 10 days to be able to capture this in what would now be when this came out was the most amazing and deep photo that we could take of a patch of galaxies at a very, very far distance. And now within less than 12 hours, we're able to do this. 12 hours for the James Webb Space Telescope to get something. Let's zoom in and kind of show like the difference here of what we're able to look at. And this is just a test shot just to show the difference in fidelity. And you can see here like why this is going to be incredibly important, because what the James Webb Space Telescope is going to be photographing is looking back in time as far as humanity has ever been able to. We'll be able to look at galaxies, a few 100 million years of the Big Bang as they were back then. So we're literally looking billions of years into the past at not only the really bright objects that we were able to see before, but all of the things that if you were in that period in time and were able to look around the sky like we do now, you'd be able to see everything at the same quality as that, essentially, from all the dim objects to all the bright objects. So we're going to be able to study like the past, like really never before. You can kind of see just the difference here in fidelity and detail and everything. So all of these red shifted objects here are actually incredibly far away. Basically, so you can see like there, let me see if I can find some good comparisons here. Like this is super red shifted. Then you have this kind of like purple bluish galaxy right here. So this is actually closer than this object, even though this object looks much bigger. This is actually gravitational lensing. And you can tell that it's really far away because of how drastically redshifted it is. So as an object is one gravitationally lensing, so it's basically it's taken so long for that light to travel that the wavelength of light has stretched out so much that it's shifted to a red spectrum of light. And that's how you can kind of tell how far away an object is. But I mean, look at this. This galaxy doesn't look like that. This galaxy is actually behind whatever object, whatever like high gravitational pull is here, and it's been magnified and stretched around the object so that way you can actually see it. But it's actually really quite far behind this object here. I can fall asleep listening to Tag talk. Is that banana bread?
Fresh homemade.
Ooh, fresh banana bread. Ooh, that's very good, honey. Thank you. Astro and banana bread. Yeah, I felt so bad for the people that have been working on James Webb. To have the first image released by the group that was showing it tonight. Like we watched the live stream of it during our live stream today. And I was like, this is the worst way they could have shown images ever. Like, it was bad. So I can understand why a lot of people are like, well, I mean, what's so exciting about this? It doesn't look amazing. But really, when you kind of put this into perspective of what you're looking at, my friend is super excited about these images, Tag, but I admit I don't understand any of it. Even if I do find it fascinating, so I appreciate everything, you explaining everything. Uh, we'll dig into it in a second, but let's actually pull up our telescopes that I'm imaging from tonight. Actually, this is going to be the 17-inch that we're going to be using tonight. It's almost dark out in California. When we're used to Dustin and Tag photos, we see this and know how much better it could look. You have no idea. Let me show you what my telescope, what a fraction. I'm going to put what James Webb has done into perspective for you in a second. Let me just connect this telescope and we'll get it running here real quick. When did you put a telescope in California? So this one is actually a friend of mine's telescope. He actually just went heavy into astronomy and bought this system here. And I've been basically testing it and getting it ready and figuring out, all of its little issues. Because whenever you buy an expensive system, it's bound to have a lot of issues. And thankfully able to use it tonight to kind of show off some of the stuff. That super redshifted galaxy you showed, is it possible that doesn't exist anymore? Almost everything, I'll bring it up again. To put it into perspective, the majority of what you see in this image from the James Webb Space Telescope probably does not exist anymore. It's looking so far back in time that the majority of these objects that are in here, especially specifically these red ones, these ones that are stretched and skewed, this is called gravitational lensing. It's looking so far back in time that there is probably a 99% chance that this does not exist anymore. We're looking at ghosts. Essentially, we're studying the very foundations, the very early universe. You can almost think of it as like what we're looking at could have already been gone and created what we're now living in. Like we can get into it a little bit more. I want to get the telescope set up, but essentially we're looking at ghosts. That's how far back it's looking. And I will show you, I'll try and put it in perspective of where we're looking at in space to be able to see this. Just got here, Tom. I saw the news and hoped you'd do a stream. Hello, fellow nerds. Hello, hello. So yeah, let's zoom out here a little bit. So this is what we were previously able to image with the Hubble Space Telescope. That thing that's been creating beautiful. So here, let me show you two different images. Let's see here. Hubble Pillars of Creation. Because we haven't seen an actual image of like a nebula, which you guys are used to seeing from me. I'll show you. Okay, so this is the Karina Nebula. This is an image that is coming out tomorrow. Just give me a second to bring it up. Hubble Pillars of Creation. Actually, I have a picture of Pillars of Creation that I can share. So save image as desktop. Urbo, I will never forget the first Astro stream. I'm so glad we told you to go big so you can talk about space is just oh, thank you, Urbo. Until it makes you happy. Can't wait to see how far you go with it. You have no idea. Just wait till you hear about the project I've been working on for 8 months now. Okay. So, how are we looking at the past and not the future stuff? My brain does not compute. I'll explain it in a second. Scrap. Tag is going to space. So this is very much the type of photo that you're used to seeing from me, right? This is a nebula. This is the Pillars of Creation. This is a Hubble Space Telescope image. This was created by Hubble, and the quality that you're able to get from Hubble is amazing. Absolutely amazing. You can see the gas is actually emanating and circling within this pillar here. This is actually a star forming region. So this is baby stars are being born here. This is basically what the universe is created from. This is a lot of hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. This will eventually be stars. This will turn into planets. This will create everything that could potentially spawn life. This is the pillars of creation. Now I'll show you my picture of the pillars of creation. Let's see here. So I took a picture of the pillars of creation last year. This one's not very good. I'm actually taking a new photo of it right now. Maybe I'll show the new one with the new telescope. Just give me a second here to pull it up. Astrophotography 2022. Eagle Nebula HA. Here we go. So this is my image of the pillars of creation from my telescope. This is actually an image that I took of the same object. Let me rotate it. And you can see just the difference in detail between, you know, a ground-based telescope like mine compared to, I have a color image of this too. Let me pull the color image up. 2022. Do I have it under finished? Here. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So this is my image of the pillar. This is last year's image. Not very good. I didn't edit it very well. I didn't get a lot of data on it either. So all of this blue is kind of like oxygen and hydrogen, sulfur. More of this, all the detail really comes from the hydrogen in the area. So this is an image I took of the pillars of creation. Then you have the Hubble Space Telescope. Now, just to kind of give you a preview of the quality that we're going to get from James Webb. This is the Hubble Space Telescope, right? Then, put this into perspective. This is the Hubble Space Telescope image from today. Or this is not from today. This is what Hubble took of the same image that James Webb took, right? So look at the quality difference between, so same telescope took this photo, This photo looks like shit compared to this. So imagine the James Webb Space Telescope imaging the same things that Hubble has in the past, of the things that you're used to seeing from me, like the nebula and things like this. The James Webb Space Telescope is built to look into the past, not only to look into the past and study, you know, basically what would be considered ghosts and the very creation of our universe, but to also study the atmospheres of exoplanets. So the James Webb Space Telescope will be able to look at a planet orbiting another star, potentially another star in an entirely different galaxy, and see if it could harbor life. Like, if there is any chance for us to not only discover a planet that we could eventually live on in the future, but also our best chance at discovering life on another planet as well. So that's kind of like the significance of what the James Webb Space Telescope is going to be doing. And Allison, last time my husband and I had cut a live stream together, we had just gotten married. Now we're expecting, and as promised you, or chat, to get to name our firstborn child. Oh, what do y'all got? Oh, man. Can we call it Smacks? Name it after the first James Webb Space Telescope? This is blowing your mind. Is this a picture? This is a picture taken from the James Webb Space Telescope. Now, to also, so let's backtrack again. So this is a picture that I took of Smacks. I'll have to think of a good name. Just give me a second. Torts? Oh, I vote for Torts. I vote for Torts. Torts is a good name. So this is my very badly taken image of the pillars of creation. Then we have, this is the Hubble's Space Telescope's picture of the pillars of creation, right? Then we go to, this is of SMACS, basically a galaxy cluster. this took the James Webb Space Telescope 10 days to photograph right here. And then we have the James Webb, which took 12 hours. 12 hours to create something that the James Webb Space Telescope could never do ever. So while it doesn't look amazing, the images we get tomorrow are going to be pretty cool. So we're going to get our first picture of a nebula tomorrow with the James Webb Space Telescope. That'll be of the Karina Nebula, which I can only imagine is going to be absolutely redonkulous. And then we're going to get an image of, it's not really going to be an image, it's going to kind of be a study of it's WASP 192b, I think, which I've actually imaged myself. I've done some exoplanet research with my telescopes now too, but it's basically studying the atmosphere of this Saturn-like planet to get a better understanding of what, like how the planet was formed, like what its atmosphere is like and things like that. So it's going to be actually studying the atmosphere of a planet not in our solar system, which is freaking insane. And then we have a couple other things too. I vote for Torts for the name. It's a good name. And then tonight, what I'm imaging is a supernova, which is super faint, but I'll show you what I'm imaging tonight. Let me open up PixInsight. At least I think. Okay, where is it? Why not have it? Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. So this is what I'm imaging tonight. This is the Eastern Veil, or Western Veil. It's a supernova remnant. And this is actually a 6-panel mosaic of the supernova. So we're able to zoom in really, really far. Long time no see, Tag. Oh, Talissa, how are you doing? Hope you've been well. I've been crazy stressed waiting for my thesis, but I still love rewatching old streams. Aw, thank you. And I hope things get better for you. So this is a supernova remnant. This will be probably one of the highest quality images that I've ever taken, due to the fact that the framing for my telescope is actually about like this, and then what I've done is created a mosaic. So I'm taking individual photographs of each of these pieces and then stitching it together to create a very, very high quality image of this piece of space. So insanely detailed. Definitely not a James Webb Space Telescope image by any means, but there's a lot of really cool little wispy bits of interstellar gas in here. It's pretty cool. Didn't I start this months ago? No, I imaged it months ago, but this is a fresh start. New year, new me, you know. Let's see. And then the other project that I've been working on is of the Elephant's Trunk Nebula, which is a pretty big one. Although I have a pretty decent image of this already. It's this one right here. See if I can make it bigger. There. Oops. Yeah, so the Elephant's Trunk Nebula. This is a 2-panel mosaic. So we got like the elephant's head with the trunk there, and then the little water bits. I have to be at work super early tomorrow. Aw, Rhea, get some sleep. I know it's late. So let's bring up the James Webb Telescope image again. hear me out, a galaxy projector that projects your image. That would be super cool. What scope and camera do I use? I have, let me pull it up. This is my setup in Texas. So this is my telescope right here. Let me move my face. Dang it. So I have this telescope. So this is a plane wave 12.5 inch CDK. And on the back of it, I have a ASI 6200. And then piggybacked on top of that is a Skywatcher 100 with another 6200 behind it. Then I also have 3 of these telescopes. These are 11 inch Rosses. There's so much that can be cleaned up with this photo. If you had your hands on it, it would look a lot better. Are you talking about the James Webb one? No. All right. So this is a test image, Urbo. This is a test image just to see the quality increase from the previous best image of this region to this. So this was the previous best, like the best that we could do. That turned into this in a 20th of the time. Now, what's crazy about this? Let me show you. Let's see here. Let's open up Stellarium, something. I'll take another piece. Whichever one you want to give me. Center. Thanks for always teaching us about space. Love watching these streams. Thank you, Emmy. All right. Why? There we go. So imagine our night sky. So essentially what James Webb photographed with this image, that's not the right image, with this image is, I know, but I still think you could have done it better if you had the ways to. No. Like this is crazy. I know it doesn't look crazy, but it is. So if you took a grain of sand and held it out in front of you and looked up at space, that's the piece of sky that we're photographing. So I'll show you. I think I can show a representation of that. Let's see here. So if we were to look at, let me find something here. I think we can see there's a pretty good, ooh, there's like a little supernova here. That's cool. Or a little something something. There is an object here that's going to be photographed tomorrow, which I want to photograph tonight to show you the comparison of like what we're able to see. And I think it's in here. No, that's the fossil footprint. Chaos Daddy's super chat incoming. All hail Ashley. She did just bring me more banana bread. Let's see here. James Webb targets. It is the Karina Nebula. Stephan's Quintet. Yes. Let's search. Stephan's Quintet. So this is going to be one of the targets that are released tomorrow. So, all right, let's go back. Right. So imagine this is you standing on the ground, and this is where the James Webb Space Telescope is looking. And then you got to zoom in quite a bit. So with my telescope, this is the field of view that we're able to get with my telescope. It's nothing special. You can see that there's something there, right? You can see that there's something there. But what James Webb is going to be photographing is essentially like in here. It's actually, let me see if I can pull it up. This won't even be able to render it. We're looking at 111,000, 110,000 we'll put. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Yeah. So this is what the James Webb Space Telescope will be able to see. Deep up in there. But not only being able to see this, but being able to see what gravitational lensing could be happening there, being able to study basically everything that's happening within not only the galaxy itself, but potentially maybe recognize exoplanets around stars and things like that. Hi, hail Ashley, Chaos Daddy, bringer of banana bread. Why is it called James Webb? Named after somebody? Yeah. Can't see that one. So I actually have another camera piggybacked on the back of this one, taking color images of this. Let me turn this off. That image in Solarium of the quintet is from Hubble? No. Let me pull up the Hubble version. So this is the Hubble version right here. But what you're going to be able to see... Actually, let me move this back over. And I'll save this. And kind of go into what Hubble or what James Webb will be able to see in addition to it. Options... I would like this to show up as color so you can actually see the color of the supernova. It's very green. Yeah, this is the supernova in one-shot color. The moon is out, so everything's like super bluish green. Not a good night to be shooting one-shot color, but it's all right. So this right here is the Stephan's Quintet or Stephan's Quintet. It's a triplet galaxy of 3 colliding galaxies. Now this is pretty dang good quality, right? It's pretty cool. You can see different nebula within these galaxies. But there's so much interesting stuff in here, right? Like all of this, you can see a little bit of a galaxy right here that's redshifted. Right here is another galaxy. These are all the things that, like all of these little red dots, those are galaxies. Incredibly distant galaxies. Now, when we're looking, look at all these red-shifted galaxies right here. You're able to see these because of the well, I mean, there's not a lot of gravitational lensing in here. There's just a lot of redshifting. But there's a lot of really, really interesting galaxies in here. And essentially what we're getting right now is James Webb Space Telescope calibration images. They're not final product images. They're basically like, we finally just got this telescope up and running. We have to test everything, make sure it's working, and we have to have a comparison study. So what they're doing is they're photographing things that Hubble has previously photographed and comparing the increase in quality, because then they'll be able to figure out from there how much time to spend on targets and which targets they should spend time on. So essentially they're just doing like little snippets of data. Like Hubble probably spent, I don't even know how many hours on this particular image, but James Webb will probably spend a fraction of that time and get 10x, 100x the data. It's actually 100x. So James Webb Space Telescope, for every, like, let's say it's 100 times more powerful than the Hubble Space Telescope. The next slew of images come out tomorrow. So they start coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, so like, I cannot wait to see what this is going to look like from the James Webb. They'll probably had to have done like some kind of mosaic too if they're going to try and get the same framing. But like, we're going to be able to see with the James Webb like what all of these galaxies actually look like, potentially, at a much higher detail. I think there's like this needle one. This is a face on or a side on. I hope they show this one first tomorrow because I'm excited to see what this one's going to look like. Then we're going to be looking at the Karina Nebula, which I'll pull up a shot of that from Hubble. The shot from James Webb is going to be stupid of this one. Yeah, so this is the Hubble's image of the Karina Nebula. Just insane. Space is so freaking cool. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing? I can't tell if it's dark there or if the moon is still out. I think the moon is still out. I'm trying to set up the sequence that we're going to run tonight on this. I think we're going to do more of the elephant's trunk mosaic. I could move it to something else, though. Did I connect? No, I did not. Tell the moon to go to bed. Go to bed. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to... We'll be able to see the new images tomorrow from the James Webb. Yeah, I'm going to stream it too. So we're going to start streaming around 10... maybe I got to look at the exact schedule for the releases. But yeah, we'll be. I think it'll be good to stream it. Yeah, so we still got another hour before I can image on this scope. You're going to bed soon. I probably end this one here as well soon. I just wanted to pop on and basically go over the same things that I wanted to make a video of and maybe do a little bit of imaging together. But of course, the things that I chose to image tonight are not very spectacular to see. There we go. There's another piece of our little mosaic that I'm working on. Think you will love Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Project Hail Mary. You can see this is like a little piece of that project that I'm working on. It's like right in here somewhere. Mego, have a wonderful night. But yeah, no, it's a late stream. Random question, is a tortilla blanket a good purchase? Sure. I think so. Anyways, I hope you all have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to me nerdily talk about space stuff. And we'll be doing more actual, like earlier in the night astro things once it gets clearer here and I can use the telescopes that are here at the house. Be able to do it like 3 hours earlier, which will be good. But anyways, have a wonderful night.